Bonnie, do you think candle making is a major category? Yeah? Okay. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. This week I am starting a very unofficial series on my channel called Revamping Everything I've Already Done. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. I have lived in my house for almost 2 years now, and there are a ton of makeovers and projects that I just dove right into in the first 6 months of living here that I now want to go back through and rework and tweak some of those decisions, if not completely change some of those decisions. So this week I am going to be starting the process, just starting the process of revamping my studio. And I have a super fun project planned out to get this process rolling. So let's get started. Okay, so before I get started on this week's project, I feel like I should take a moment to kind of explain where my studio is at and why I kind of don't like it and where I want it to go and all of my hopes and dreams for this room. So this room is a very multi-purpose room. I of course film in here, I do projects in here. If you are new to my channel, this is some new information for you, but I am a hair and makeup artist and I own my own company that specializes in bridal hair and makeup. Don't mind my cat. I specialize in bridal hair and makeup, so very frequently I have to clean up this room, make it look nice, and set it up as a hair and makeup studio so that I can have brides over to test out the hair and makeup for their wedding. Also, this room can function as a second guest bedroom. So I have a bed that's all folded up in the closet that I can pull out and set up for guests. So with all of that stuff happening in here, I have a lot of supplies and I don't have a lot of storage. So my main goal of this makeover is to add a lot of storage. And not only do I need more storage, but I need the storage to have a system in place that keeps me organized so that hopefully that will keep this room cleaner more easily. Yes, that would be nice. And beyond the storage and the organizing and everything, I feel like this room has never really had a style. But at the same time, because it is so multi-purpose, I've had a hard time coming up with what I even want this space to look like. But I feel like I finally came up with a term that sums up what I am trying to go for in here. And that is abandoned attic. Yeah. So what abandoned attic even means to me is that I kind of think of a movie attic where you basically stumble across this really cool space that's got a bunch of supplies in storage and like some supplies out, and there's lots of like vintage items and it's very eclectic. It's like a really cool attic minus the dust. And this first project that I have up is going to add so much storage, but it's also going to add a ton of character and add a little bit of that vintage vibe that I am going for. And if you have seen me film in here, you might notice there is a new item. I got this really cool, beautiful, solid dresser or buffet or whatever you want to call it off of Facebook Marketplace. And when I saw it, I instantly fell in love with it. I fell in love with how big it is. It has 9 drawers, which is going to add a ton of storage. But beyond the storage, it has beautiful details across the whole piece. And I love it, but it is pretty beat up. So this week I'm gonna be doing a little furniture flipping and making it look nice. I do have a loose idea of what I think I'm gonna do, and that is completely sanding this piece down and leaving it like a nice light wood. All of that being said, I need to get this space ready so that I can start this project. So this dresser thing is very, very, very heavy. I can't lift this thing whatsoever. I'm going to be flipping it right in here. So now I have to get it onto this canvas that I just laid out. Wish me luck. Nope. Why is this so heavy? Come on. I have never had a piece that I can't lift, and this thing is so heavy. Nope, that's not happening. Hold on, I'm gonna take the drawers out. You know, I do have things in these drawers already. Is it organized? No, it is not. Okay, that's much lighter. Still very heavy, but much lighter. So there isn't really a good way that's not messy to strip this thing down. If I use a stain and varnish stripper, that is messy. If I sand this thing down, that is also really messy. So now I just have to determine which version of messy I am willing to deal with. I think I'm gonna go with the sanding because in the last month or so, got a belt sander. So I think the belt sander is going to very quickly strip the top of this, and then I can use my orbital sander for some of the smaller details. So it's time to sand, guys, it's time to sand. Am I recording? Is my microphone gonna fall? It's right there. Okay, so we have a slight change in plans. Sanding the top of this thing down. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, my belt sander just ripped right through it. But now that I'm getting to the sides and everything, these details, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sand those very nicely. So I am going to sand what I can, and then once I get through all of that, I'm going to use stain and varnish stripper. So I am going to continue on, see what I can do, and if I hit a point where I think painting this thing is going to make it look the nicest versus trying to strip this thing down and finish it to be a lot lighter, I will go that route. But as of right now, I'm still gonna stick to my plan. Say hi to Dodo peoples. Say hello. You are my beautiful boy. Okay, so yesterday I spent about 7 hours sanding, and I feel like I got absolutely nowhere. So I stopped around 6 o'clock and I went and got the stain and varnish stripper, and I ended up just testing out a little area and letting that sit overnight so that I could kind of see what we're working with. So I'm just gonna keep going. I really hope this thing turns out nice and I don't end up having to paint it, but we're just gonna keep going and see what we get. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see what we're working with here. So I have determined what I am going to do with this thing, because stripping this whole thing down I don't think is a good option, because there are so many details in here that if I go through and I strip everything down, I feel like I'm still gonna lose some of those details, because even when you use the stain and varnish stripper, you still have to go in and do some sanding. I don't want to completely lose the wood element and cover everything up. So I have determined that this top section I'm going to leave exposed and leave it as the light wood, and then from here down I am going to be painting this dresser or buffet or whatever this thing is. I'm not exactly sure what paint color I am going to go with. My natural instinct is leaning towards black, of course. But at the same time, I also am contemplating maybe an olivey green color. That could look really pretty, but I'm gonna marinate on that and get started finishing sanding this section and then get to painting. Yay! All of that sanding yesterday for nothing. So the last 2 days, you can just forget about those. Just put them out of your head. They never happened. I feel like I got nothing done over the last 2 days, but now that I know I am painting this thing, I feel like this is going to go so much quicker. So I have the body all primed. I might do one more layer of primer. There's only one coat of primer on there now, but before I get to priming all of the drawers and the doors, I am going to test out the 2 samples that I got. You guys are gonna be shocked at what color I'm going with. Actually, you probably won't, because I already mentioned I was thinking about this color. And boom, 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 boom. Yay! Yes, I am gonna go with green. Although I know I would freaking love a black dresser with a wood top. I mean, it's just classy. It's classy. I am going with green because I feel like this is supposed to be a fun and creative room, and I also can picture how the green is gonna pop off of the black and white wall, and in my head that looks really cool. So I'm gonna get to doing all of that. Let's try to get this dresser done today. Okay, these are the 2 options. I did just paint them so they're not dry, so they're a lot lighter than what they're going to be. But my first instinct is saying the oak moss, which is the darker color. But I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna get to priming. Yay! Okay, that took a while, but I am done priming. Yeah, words, they're coming to my head. So I've been staring at the 2 samples, and I think, I am gonna go with oak moss. So I'm gonna go run and grab that paint and get to painting this thing. Yay, 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 yay. I have a bird's nest on top of my head today. Okay guys, the painting is all done. I just added a third coat to a few areas that just needed like some touch-ups, but I am loving this green. I know it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I am digging it so much. I love this color and I really hope you can tell how beautiful this green is. It is such a good green. So while I let the few areas I touched up dry, I'm gonna work on the top of this piece. I want this to stay as light as it is, but if I were to go add top coat to it right now, that would naturally darken it up, and I don't want that to happen. So what I am going to do is take a little bit of white paint and a little bit of water and do a nice whitewash, very light whitewash over the top of this thing. So that will keep it nice and light even as I add top coat to it. And by the time I'm done with all that, the body should be dry so I can add top coat to the whole body and then put all the hardware back on and put this dresser back together. Speaking of hardware, my plan has always been to reuse the original hardware. Unfortunately, there was one drawer that was missing one handle. I was so close to being able to use the original hardware over this whole thing, but since there was one handle missing, what I'm gonna do is add the original hardware to all of the drawers, and then I went and got some different hardware to put on the doors. So much rhyming. I think I got as close as I possibly am going to get to matching the original hardware. So here is the original hardware. It's these little solid dangly knobs, and then I got these to go on the doors. I think they're a pretty good match. So all of that being said, Clyde Kitty, is it time to finish this piece? Yes, it is. Hello guys! Okay, so it has actually been a few days since I finished up this dresser, because as I was finishing up the dresser, I realized I have nothing figured out as to how I'm going to organize these drawers and organize all my supplies. I also didn't have anything to organize my supplies within the drawers. So over the last 48 hours, I have been doing some serious work. Okay, Bonnie, I really need your brains behind this, buddy. I first went through all of my things. I rediscovered things I completely forgot I had. Oh, that's where this bronzer palette went to. Why was it in this drawer? I also discovered I have an issue with holding on to scrap fabric. Why? Why do I hold on to these things? You never know if you're gonna need it again. You just never know. And then once I had all of that figured out, I went ahead and I ordered some stuff. So I think the only way to end this video is with an epic organizing montage. And I have a label maker and I know how to use it. So let's get to organizing. that is it. This first project turned out very different than I had planned, but I am not mad about it. I think this green adds such a fun, colorful element to this space, and I also feel like now that I have it painted, the details pop way more than if I had just left it the plain light wood. And not only did this dresser add a little character and color to the space, but the storage is amazing. The organization within each drawer, I'm pretty sure is like a dream come true for me. This is really going to help keep everything organized and keep the space clean. And this is just the beginning of revamping my studio, and I'm already so much more in love with this space again. I cannot wait until this room is completely done. I hope you guys liked this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!